Our next guest on the pod is the founder of Fitness International Travel, where you can sign up and travel to some of the world's most famous running races with a group of wicked awesome people. She's also a two-time finisher of the World Marathon Challenge. She's completed the Abbott World Marathon Majors not once, not twice, but 3 times, and she's working on her 4th. She's a close friend to some of our very own pod fam, and we're wicked excited to finally get her away from her bowling league and have her on the pod and hear so much more about her. Kelly Mcley, welcome to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, Kelly?
Hi. Thanks so much for having me. I'm glad that we finally got a Monday or Wednesday to do this. So it's fabulous. And yes, I know my bowling league interfered originally, but hopefully that's behind us.
We made it happen. We're going to
I'm
throw
so
one right down
happy.
the middle for a strike here, or maybe one of those fancy curving ones, you know? I don't know. I'm not good. I need the bumpers.
I started
Eric
with
can't
the
hang. Oh, but Kelly, I am so excited to have you on. Just the little teasers that Eric was dropping. I think I found my new role model because you were doing all the stuff that I am dreaming of doing. And I just think that is super cool. And the fact that you get to travel around and do these races for a living, ultimate dream. Am I right?
1,000%. I mean, I think I have a lot of pinch me moments all the time that this is what I get to spend my days doing. You know, I think you never work a day in your life if you're doing something you love. And now, my passion became my profession. And look, we're having this great chat about all the incredible things that we're doing, people around the world are doing. And so, yeah, to be able to run the world is pretty fun.
Who runs the
Super
world?
cool.
Oh, you made me think of that song.
Kelly.
I don't even know now. Is her name Beyonce or is it Cowboy Carter? Is she officially
little bit of
changed her
both.
name? I don't know. But you know who hasn't changed his name and we love him so much is our friend Jared Ewing. And Jared is the one who made this connection. And he's been telling me for over a year to get you on the pod. And Jared, I want you to know I've been working on this for like 8 months now. So we finally made it happen.
Oh my God, Jared. Jared's the best. His story is incredible. I've been moved so much by Jared's story and his persistence. And yes, he was like, you need to talk to my buddies on the runs. And it's just such a fab collaboration. I know he's been on here talking about his story, but Jared and I just got done with London. We had a fabulous trip in London and he's actually heading to Kenya with me. And we're going to run in a game park with animals, zebras, gazelles. And
Lions,
yeah, so we're going to have a good time in
tigers,
Africa.
Bears, any other
Not
dangerous
bears,
ones?
lions, tigers. No. Some
Okay.
lions.
Cool.
It is there is the big 5 in this game park down in Lewa Marathon. It's a safari marathon and it's just stunning.
I am super jealous because this again is some like dream shit. But Jared was telling us about how much fun he had with you in London. And I'm just so excited to hear more about traveling with you and what kind of stuff you guys get up to.
And we're going to get to your story here in one moment, but I just want to remind Erica that you can actually go do these things. You only have cats. So
Yes, I know.
5 weeks from now, you could be joining them on the other side of the world, running with
But I'm sure
tigers
on
and
vacation
lions
time, that's the
zebras
sad
and
part.
gazelles and all that. But
I think I need to change professions. Don't tell my boss.
But Kelly, you have quite the story I've heard, and this goes before Fitness International Travel. So tell us a little bit about yourself leading up to your company now, Fitness International Travel.
Yeah. So I know we just talked about the passion and being able to, run the world. And Jared and I were just in London and basically I loved traveling. I grew up traveling. My parents worked, even though actually I'm petrified to fly, which I probably shouldn't say that to anyone. I'm probably in the worst profession for that, but it's a means to an end because I love travel. I love learning about other cultures. I grew up with a father who worked for Delta. My sister's a flight attendant for JetBlue. So I've always traveled from like a really young age and I hated running. I actually could not run a mile. I was always a team athlete. And so I looked at running as like, penalties or punishment for the team sport. In my 20s, I actually got a diagnosis I went through menopause.
Oh my God.
And it was it was a really rough time. Everybody in their 20s, you're just graduating from college. Like nobody's dealing with this old old lady or what happens later on towards your 40s or 50s. So I felt really out of place. The only people I could relate to was like my mom and her friends. We actually went to like the musical Menopause together. And like menopause is like not trendy right now. It's still a really difficult thing to navigate and your hormones are a mess, but it wasn't as trendy or modern culture. People didn't talk about it as much like 25 years ago. So I was navigating this really awkward time and I needed something young. I needed something challenging. I needed something that felt impossible. I was by no means like larger, but I have an underactive thyroid as well, which caused this condition. And so depressed, weight gain, lethargy, all of that was coming into play. Like I said, I hated running and I couldn't run a mile. And I picked the marathon. I picked the Boston Marathon. My FBI friends always did it. And yeah, I needed that finish line. And I didn't know the world of that first finish line, taking a left onto Boylston and seeing that finish line really was, it changed my life. It changed my life in so many ways. It taught me that there were other finish lines, that I could do hard things, that, when I started training, I couldn't run a mile. And so I felt pretty stupid trying to like telling people I was going to do this marathon. And my athleticism was so bad. I mean, I was fully through menopause. I was like a 80-year-old grandma in a 20-year-old body. And yeah, the Boston Marathon changed my life. And then my passion became my profession and I haven't looked back. I mean, I get to do something that brought me out of a really tough place, a really awkward place, along with the village of women that were my mom and her friends, which, to this day, I'm still hang around with them. But truly, had I not had that diagnosis, I never would have run a marathon. Had I not run the marathon, I never would have like combined the two to run the world. And so truly, this is a passion play. The company is embedded in my passion, my love for running, my love for bringing together like people to see other places, to reach these finish lines, to watch them accomplish their goals, striving after the majors, striving after the continents, and just seeing the world. I think that life's too short. And how amazing is it to challenge ourselves and see what we're capable of?
Wow, Kelly, that is such a hard thing to navigate. And I really appreciate that you gave yourself that challenge to try to lift yourself up and get you out of the funk and just try to get through what your body was throwing at you, because that could not have been easy. I mean, I just can't even imagine at this point. But you gave yourself the ultimate challenge and you prevailed. And I think you picked the perfect first marathon. Like Boston, absolutely. There's no going back from that. Like you get to the Boston finish line, and that is just the goal. So I think that's so amazing. How long did you give yourself to train for this? Because you basically went 0 to 60.
I was
And
going to ask the same thing because I kind of
yeah,
want to know like the build up here
yeah.
of not really being a runner to running the
To
Boston
not really
Marathon.
liking running to finishing Boston, which is not an easy race at all.
Right. And at the time, like I said, I needed to pick something youthful and young and something that felt unattainable. And then when I couldn't run a mile, and so that was in January, we decided in January to run in April. And when I went out for like my first mile and I couldn't make it, I stopped and walked like in the beginning. And nobody will believe that now.
At the time, where were you living? Are you like a New Englander running in the cold winters, or are you like down in
Yeah.
Florida?
I'm born and bred in Beverly. I'm still talking to you here from the Fit House, what I call the Fit House, which is basically our home office here in Beverly. And
So not
this,
only are you running your first ever mile, you're
yeah,
doing it in the middle of a New England winter.
yeah, all things against the odds in my mind, because then I threw it out there. And you know how challenging that can be too. And I was already down and out with this whole diagnosis. I always wanted kids. I knew that my having the ability to have kids was going to be a very difficult path. And so right outside is where I started my first runs, and I picked a 3-mile loop, and I couldn't make it around that loop the first time. And for many months, like I think the first month, I couldn't make it around that loop. And the first time I jogged at all, oh my God, I cried. And then I just set other goals that became stronger goals. And that's how I did it. But, to go from thinking that I was never going to hit that finish line
Mm.
and fail on that day and not make this goal, to now seeing so many other finish lines of overcoming this, running many, heading towards my 100th marathon this year, opening the company, having like getting married, having the kids, which is a whole other scientific story. But yeah, it's been really, like I said, a passion project. And I love
I
how
love that.
26.2 miles can change your life.
That is incredible. I love that you enjoy the challenge. A lot of people don't, and they go for the easier things, but you're like, no, give me all you got. Give me the New England Winters. Give me the Boston finish line. And you just went on from there.
And I love that you just used one of my favorite sayings of all, passion project,
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't feel like work, right? And you come home and you want to do it. You want to do more of it because it truly becomes a passion.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to spend a lot of your time away from the people that mean the most to you, it's got to be something that you love doing. For me, I meet so many, Jared, case in point, like how incredible is Mr. Jared? And all the people striving for these finish lines or the goals or why they're running and why we're doing this, why we're talking about these incredible places, is because there's a greater meaning beyond the finish line that is giving back so much more. And so, yeah, I mean, to open, like, none of it's been easy. Like, even if you're in menopause, I mean, the reason I went for that challenge is because menopause is like extremely challenging, extremely sticky and sweaty. It's a hot mess. I was a hot mess. There's lots of moving parts. And I just needed one thing that was so hard and felt so unattainable that I could conquer and that I could do well and that could challenge me and beat me up a little bit. But then when it spit me out, like, it was like, oh my God, yes. Like, I can do this. My body can do this. I'm still young. I'm going to tackle these things. And that's how it's all started. And it gave back so much more than I could ever imagine. But yeah, it's ugly at times, as is menopause.
I'm blown away, Kelly. I really am. So your first marathon, it came, it went, and you didn't hate it. So before we dive into the fitness international travel, tell us about some of the favorite races that came after that.
Yeah, so after Boston, which I didn't know, like I said, I was super rookie and I didn't even know about qualifying culture. So,
Mm.
it was only after that that I started to delve into the world of what is marathons. And so it went, this was 2005. And so I'm on my 20th anniversary this year, just had it at Boston Marathon
Yeah, I can
weekend.
see a whole stack of them behind you. How many Bostons have you done?
So there are a few that I've done when I qualified when I was younger. And then I was able to, I don't know if you've ever heard of Dave McGilvery's night runs, where the race director used to
Yes.
go out to the start line and run in at night. And so I've been part of 4 night runs with him. That concluded a few years back. But I had the honor of being on his team and crew for that type of experience running Boston. So there's a few medals up there celebrating his 50th run, and the run that he did post cardiac surgery. So
Mm.
those were monumental. But I met him on one of the World Marathon Challenges. And so our team kind of stayed together and I've run some of those. So I think all in
I love
all, I've
that.
done 10 Bostons, and I need another BQ. I would like to go for another BQ. I just aged up, so
That's honestly what I'm looking forward to. I'm at the end of my 30s and I'm about to hit 40 and I'm just like 5 extra minutes. Let's go. Gotta love that.
gotta love it. So yeah, so I mean, after Boston, and I knew I could do it. I ran New York, and it was funny. Like 10 of us entered the lottery, and 9 of us got in, which is unheard of nowadays. But
Honestly,
it was
yes.
November of
Should have bought a
2005.
lottery ticket that day.
Yeah, I should have.
All of you.
All of us should have. And then it just stemmed from there. I went back to Boston. I wanted to qualify for Boston at Boston. And then it just started grooming. My first international marathon was Dublin, and it's the friendliest marathon. It's an amazing weekend. they're all on the sidelines, like, well done, good on ya. And I just love that. I love the differences in cheers when you're abroad, what they're saying. I started a tradition at that race where I run in a Guinness hat, and now I've done that 11 times. So I can't
Wow.
not start in the Guinness hat. So I
Did
always
you
run as a
see?
pint of Guinness.
I have to pause you real quick. You know Aaron Azar. I am Mrs. Space Cadet. I assume. Did you see the reel they did from their podcast the other day? She just ran London, and she said exactly that. She compared them from like London to Boston and New York fans. So London
Yeah.
was like, well done, truly inspirational, amazing. And Boston, New York fans were like, let's fucking go.
So many different, like,
Yeah.
one year in Dublin, I have so many Dublin stories because I dress as a pint glass and I look at, and it's so different culturally in all these
So
different
fun.
races. And if you think about it, if you run New York, even when you're going through the different boroughs, there's different energy. And so around the world, it's great. It's great to hear the accents. It's great to get that little cultural flair, how they decorate stuff, what they do at the tables. I mean, I ran Tokyo, and the first year I did Tokyo Marathon, there was like tomatoes at the food station. And I thought, oh, I'm not going to have a tomato, but this is unique, or if you go and run
Yeah.
Big Sur, which I've been able to do, there's strawberries at mile 22.
The strawberries were
Um,
the absolute
so
best.
amazing. Exactly. And then you look all like bloody, like,
Worth it. So worth it.
or like Madoc. I'm heading to the Madoc Marathon in
That's
September.
the one
And
with the wine, right?
the wine, and everybody wears costumes, and they serve oysters at mile 22.
Oh
And
my God.
so, and ice cream, and they have a chocolate fountain, and they have beer and fries. So, I mean, I think all of these experiences bring to light the smells and the tastes and the energy of the culture and the community that you're in. And that's what I love. Is it's dynamic, it's diverse. I've had some amazing miles. I've had some sad miles. I've had some challenges. I mean, I've been so lucky to have been to Antarctica 4 times, 5 times.
So many you've lost count.
It's so bad. It sounds so bad, but
That's the best problem to have.
and I don't do well in the cold. I know we were talking about like training and the rugged and like being in the cold. Like I'm not, I don't have like a ton of meat on me. It's not like it's I love the cold, but I just have like really good gear and it's efficient, and I'd stay moving. But like I love running in Antarctica. It's so beautiful. It's so quiet. I mean, there's no fans in there. It's not like we have penguins or anything.
That's a bummer for me to hear, but still would not deter me from going to Antarctica.
Let's talk about a little bit how you went from Boston and New York and breaking into running to building this worldwide running company called Fitness International Travel. How did that develop? Spare no details. How did you grow into this passion project of yours?
Yeah, so I think so. Once I figured out that I could like do these hard things, I started to try to like get my life back in order. And I lived in Charlestown, and there was a company at that time down the road, and the coffee shop guy said, "Oh, how come like you're running marathons, you travel? How come you never looked at this company?" And I kind of thought, "Oh, like what is your honeymoon, a marathon? Like you're gonna marathon like on a trip?" And he said, "No, they take runners around the world to run marathons." And so I was like, "Oh my God, that is amazing!" Like so. I had previously worked in the industry, and it was time to kind of go and try something new. And when I left, I went and worked for Spartan Race, which I loved. And it was great obstacle course racing on the mountains, like all of these things. And
Erica's favorite.
oh, is it?
No. I can't do anything but the running, so.
Oh, me neither. I'm so weak. Like I have like chicken wing arms, so okay, to that point, fun. I loved it. I learned a lot. I missed the marathon. It was in my heart and soul. I'm a true 26.2 runner. It brought me out of a bad spot. And I said, you know what? I can do it. I'm smart enough. Like I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna own my own. It's gonna be female founded. It's gonna be mama run. I birthed the company and basically birthed all the kids. Company's going to be 10 next year. My oldest daughter is going to be 9, and I just went for it. I did it untraditional, like not traditionally. Like I didn't do any seeding, any funding. Like I closed out a 401k, I rolled up my sleeves, I dug a hole, and I said, let's go. And it's been a labor of love that I've learned so much from. I've loved every second of it, and I've navigated running the world, opening the company, getting through COVID, surviving when the world was shut down and there was nobody traveling and no marathon events and no border crossings, and had the 3 babies and the company. And it's just been amazing to watch this community grow, our brand develop, to be female founded in the industry, in the sports world, and to create such a boutique brand where you have people like Jared saying, we had so much fun. This is a great community. And it truly is like a fit fam. We call it a fit family. I love meeting my clients. I love watching them hit these goals. I love believing in them and knowing that they can do this. And so the company truly is entwined into that passion project, like what happened, why it was founded, what I loved, and doing something that you love with people that are really freaking cool. Like, yeah, I rolled up my sleeves and just reached out to the Berlin Marathon, got a contract with Berlin, and the rest is sort of history.
Wow. That is super cool. So you
And
had to do
scary.
that with all the all the rest of the marathons and basically any other place that you guys travel to, you had to just reach out and get, well, I mean, you have to get the bib somehow, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been hard to pave a way. It has not always just been easy.
Mm.
There's been many times where I've knocked on a door and it's been a no, or um, you know, hasn't been an opportunity, but that's okay. Like we keep trying. We'll
Mhm.
look at something else, or maybe like we need to prove ourselves more, whatever it is. I'm not afraid to stick my neck out there and give it a go. I mean, I think marathoners have that spirit, that energy, like why we go after hard things.
Mm.
And yeah, so basically it's a great collaboration to try to partner with events that we believe in. I think we also want to make sure that the events that we're partnering with have the same ethos and the excitement and the organization and the dedication to the runner that we put forward as well as a brand. And so those things are really key and crucial to us when we're partnering with an event, with even any of our vendors. Like we vet them, we make sure that they're going to align with what we want for the runner. And I think that that's a great thing, is that there are other people in the industry doing this, and we're not going to work for everyone. And, the other company may not either, but that's why there's choice, and that's why there's opportunity to be like, okay, what do I feel good about? Like, where do I land in my marathon world and what I want to do, and what makes sense? And so we're very keen to pick excellent vendors in great spots over marathon weekend and provide just enough for you to be successful and not think about
Mhm.
it. They're turnkey weekends. You should not have to worry. All you should worry about is the flights and the fun and the training. But
That's on the
I
back
can't
burner.
run it for you. So
So tell me about a favorite question I always have for our guests is, tell me about your first marathon. Tell me about your first big race. Like, because it's never perfect, right? Tell me about your first big event. It sounds like it was the Berlin Marathon where you knocked on their door and you got the okay from them. How did this go down? Were these, like, I'm guessing your clients are people you don't know and signed up? Like, what's that pressure feel like of delivering on this first marathon, which is soon going to grow your company?
yeah, I mean, it's funny. I sat on it for a while thinking about whether to kind of like do the company. And I signed the contract in London Heathrow Airport. Like on the way, I sent it off when I was flying down to the World Marathon Challenge, which
Hmm.
I was so scared about as well. Like tackling the 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. And like, sorry, I know this is not exactly your question, but this does speak to my ethos about taking on challenges, is
I
that
want to
I
hear
had
about it.
just had a baby, like not just, but like 11 months prior. and had gone to run Antarctica at Thanksgiving and said to my husband, like, oh, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And so he's like,
Five
okay,
times
go.
later.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And I got a call. I had thrown it out to the universe, like obviously being interested in like what felt like the mecca of all meccas on the 777. But my training to finish Antarctica was only 4 marathons because coming out of childbirth was not, I had really bad preeclampsia. I almost stroked out. Like
Oh
the
my gosh.
recovery was really hard. And so, anyways, I run Antarctica in November. My husband's like, yep, once in a lifetime, I'll take the baby over Thanksgiving. No big deal. It's our first baby, blah, blah. I get back a couple weeks later. I get a call with an opportunity, like seat on the rocket ship, 777 opportunity. And I look at him and I'm like, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. He's like, you can't use that twice.
But
You know, like,
it's a different once in a lifetime
exactly.
opportunity.
Exactly. So a couple months later, now untrained, only 4 marathons, 13 months postpartum, I said yes to this, not knowing how I was going to get through this, but mind over matter. And so when I was in Heathrow and I signed the contract, it just made sense. Like I was going, I was going to do it. We were going to launch. I was throwing throwing the company in for Berlin. And so then that was January. And then in September, then I ran World Marathon Challenge. I finished it, which was unbelievable. And come September, we took our first group. And, the good thing is I know the marathon. I had done the marathon. I had been to Berlin. I researched the area. So that was all good. But I just wanted I wanted everybody to have a great time. I wanted everybody to finish. I was nervous about that. I wanted to make sure that the logistics were great, that they were going to have like a good meal the night before. So I always say, my husband's like, you don't have to run the marathon when you're there. But once everybody's at the start, all my stress is sort of gone. Like they've eaten, we've gotten their bibs, we've gone to like on the city tour, we've seen the country. So
Mhm.
once they're at the start, everybody's free to find that finish. And so for me, that's my sweet spot to just ebb and flow with everyone else.
Mm.
So yeah, it was a lot. It was the first trip. It was like I just had a baby. How was that going to go? I was a mom traveling, all of these things, and it just came together magically. And that OG group, I call them the OG. It's coming up on almost a decade that we've known each other, and I just had 4 of them, maybe 6 of them at Boston finish their Abbott 6-star like medal. And that to me is the cycle of this, the community of this, the coming back. That to me speaks volumes that from 2018, that first Berlin trip, that they're coming back to finish their 6-star on our fit program in Boston, where it started for me. That's just like, yeah, I mean, that means a lot.
That's amazing. So for your first trip, how many people did you venture out with?
Yeah,
And
who are the
how
OGs?
is it how has it grown till
Not
today? Like
Jared, but
so we're talking like your first trip to say London. Like what are the numbers looking like?
yeah, so we had 40 people in Berlin and 40 people in London, and that includes like runners and spectators. We believe
Oh wow.
spectating is a sport, and spectators get us through all those miles. And
So
they're
we're
there.
talking like the spectator is going to be a significant other or a family member typically. You're not just taking like a random person who wants to go and cheer, or are you?
I mean, they can. It is an inclusive trip. If somebody wants to
Yeah.
come and cheer London, which is a very exciting trip to do, I mean, we're open right now. Come 2026, like sign up today. I take all the spectators. It's a sport. I always say this. So I spectated once, right? Maybe twice, for my husband. And I was like, never again. It is so stressful. First of all the runners have bathrooms along the way. They have food stations. You have water, even if the water is further spread out, like in Europe, because it's not like every mile, right?
Mm.
I'm like, as a spectator, you don't have all that. You have a backpack of gear that hopefully you packed enough. Hopefully you can find a toilet. that you can use, right? You might have 2 or 3 kids. You also like plan something out and then the next day it's barricaded off because now the race is in place and your well-laid plan doesn't exist anymore. So I always say spectating is a sport because you navigate so many more thousands and millions of people on the course and some rickety travel systems to pop up maybe at the right spot, maybe on the wrong side of the road, see everybody for 5 seconds, fumble with your phone, miss the picture, and then head to the next spot. So spectating is for sure a sport. Right now, most of the individuals who are spectators with us are friends and family members. And then we basically have departures at a different time. So we bring all the runners and get them to the start. And then our team, our photography and videography team, will take a group of spectators to our fit cheer zones along the course to make sure that they can navigate and find. And we also have flags. We have a whole section so that, you know, if you are traveling alone, if you're not with someone and you've traveled far and this is important to you, you know, because we all know that energy on the course, right? When we know our family member is going to be there. And so when you know the fit cheer crowd is going to be there, you can look for them, you can get some of a boost. And we usually try to be at 2 spots. So yeah, spectators, sure. Anybody can book.
That's
It's
so
Love it.
cool.
well, I will
How
also
about
say too,
podcasters? And they interview every runner and spectator part of your group
you could, yeah,
live from the venue.
live from anywhere. I did have someone on Kenya a few years ago because they just found such great energy around the marathon. They weren't runners and they wanted to do an African safari. And they thought that the camaraderie and being around Kenyan runners and being in the game park when this unique event was going on, that they would just want to be a part of that. And so they booked the safari as a safari and cheered on all of our runners. And their son was so motivated. He like signed up for like the kids race that day. So, I mean, it has happened. It doesn't happen often, but yeah, I think that running has such a power to transcend
Yeah.
like borders and boundaries. So, yeah, come on. Anyone's welcome.
That is so fun.
So walk me through this. We had Dave McGilvery on the podcast before, and a question I asked him was, how long in advance are you starting to prepare for the upcoming Boston Marathon? I want to ask you kind of the same question, but London just happened, so it's about 11 months away. How far in advance are you preparing for next year's London Marathon? What goes into all that from now until race day that you have to do?
Yeah, so even like race weekend, our team's on the ground and it's a hefty lift on operations. We have 3 hotels. We do about 5 coaches to the expo, and we try to make sure that everything's turnkey. So when we're there, I'm constantly thinking like, how are these vendors? How are they responding? Where are our buses? Like there's constant mind thinking on operations. Even so I run the races quite often, not only to be able to provide racer feedback, but also this time around, London was on fire. Like there, it's always a big crowd support, but this year just, I mean, it was the 45th anniversary. It was incredible. And we had picked 2 spots to be in for spectator cheer zones. We were just talking about that. And as I was running the second spot, and I always run with my phone so I could see my team rerouting in real time and talk to them. And I was like, do you want me to get off the course? Like, what do you need to do? They're like, nope, we're rerouting here, X, Y, and Z. And when I got to the spot, it was a great spot that we could have been in. But yeah, I'm always thinking like, what is a better spot? So even while I was running, I was like, nope, we're moving cheer zones next year to this and this because it will be smoother for our spectators to get to. So I've already recontracted, talked with all of our vendors. We rent out private pods in the London Eye as our welcome. And so I already talked to them about how to get on and off for the flight, like quicker and like more streamlined. And we've already recontracted with our vendors for our hotels. So we're a year out. We've already launched London. You can sign up and guarantee your spot today. Anybody wants to run the London Marathon. There were 1.1 million entrants into the lottery. So if you don't want to worry
I was
about
one of
that,
them.
yeah, good luck. Good luck.
I know it never happens, but
You may.
Got a chance.
You got a chance.
There's a
You're
chance.
telling me
There's
there's
a
a chance. Great movie. But yes, I am all ready. We've already contracted. We're already launched. We already have our operations. We already have our post-race venue, and we've already tweaked and had a debrief with our team on the ground on what to do better, and it's ready to go. So
Wow.
there'll be a few things that we continue to do, emails that we send to anybody that's signed up with us, initial emails, travel insurance, and then getting our crew ready. And then basically the flow from there is getting the links up, sending them what to do and what to see in London. Like, it's a fascinating city, whether you want to do high tea, do a Harry Potter tour, head down the Thames, go to the Winston Churchill war rooms. I mean, in any destination that we're doing, part of it is always like reminders on how to get across the border with the new UK visas, but we do that in Kenya, we do that in Australia, making sure that they get their flights, making sure your passport's not expired. I mean, it is a plethora. And then talking about the fun, what you can do there, whether you do a foodie tour or like in Paris, we start off in Montmartre and we do a foodie tour and we have oysters and baguettes and croissants. And so every trip I make sure is really curtailed to the place we're going to. And it's fun.
So let me
That
tell you
sounds like a
this.
blast.
Looking at your website, and for the listeners, we'll stick to London 2026. Let me tell you this, what I see. You have an essential package, a signature package. You have an extended stay package. Okay, these go from 4 nights to 4 to 5 to even longer. Shakeout run, private transit, daily breakfast. You also have like welcome events, hotels in the heart of London. You have other things like a fit guide support at the starting line via public transit. You have all these cool things. I'm not going to list every bullet point. And then the extended package sounds like you can stay longer, come earlier, stay longer. Not only that, this isn't just Abbott World Majors. You can go to Australia and run the Outback Marathon. You can go to France and run, oh God, try to say this, Eric, Les Marathon du Médoc. Copenhagen, you have here, Cape Town Marathon, Berlin, of course, the World Majors. You have so many cool events. The Marine Corps Marathon is one of them. Like, this isn't just World Majors, and your packages look amazing. Like, you go balls to the wall. You're not just showing up and staying at Motel 6 and running a marathon and then flying back the next day in economy. I don't know. Maybe you have to fly,
Well,
get your
yes.
own,
I
but
mean,
I mean, your dad flies for Delta. You're probably flying Delta One. That's what I'd be doing.
no, I am used to, okay, if anybody knows about flying standby as a child in like the 90s and 2000s, and even nowadays, I've been bumped off a million flights, slept in Atlanta airport a million times on the floor. Like, and I basically slept on chains when we went down to the World Marathon Challenge. So, and on the floor. But yeah, it's look, I definitely fit drives on being a little bit like boutique. And our Tokyo hotel is incredible. Now, we don't have entries to the Tokyo Marathon. It's one of the things that we've tried for a decade, but we've helped over 300 runners navigate ways to get in. And then they join us on the travel package. And it is incredible. Like,
So they already have a bib, and now they're joined. So I thought it was just you sign up and you got an automatic bib. Some of these you might not, but if you get a bib, say you qualify, say you don't live in Boston, you qualified for Boston though, they could pay for your services and you set up their whole entire travel package.
right. So all of the marathons except for Tokyo and Boston are the ones that we offer guaranteed entry to. And then because we knew Tokyo so well, and my aunt worked at the American School of Japan for 20 years and she speaks fluent Japanese, we decided, and because I love it and I wanted people to feel comfortable with it and to understand the culture and to break down some of these, like, people get really worried about Tokyo and the cutoffs and all that. And I really wanted to take away that stress. I said, you know what, we're going to offer the travel package. So I haven't given up on trying to partner with Tokyo. I love the marathon and I love being there and I love the community. And that's why we go. And but yeah, so the only two that we don't have guaranteed entries to is Tokyo and Boston. But yes, you can book and it's turnkey. Like, honestly, I want you to focus on the flights, the fun, and like training. And then everything else. And marathoners are like, most of them are type A, competitive individuals. And so I think the greatest compliment is they were like, oh my God, they didn't throw caution to the wind, but in a sense, they just gave in to letting us do the operations and had an amazing time not worrying about it.
As an anxious traveler slash planner for like trips like that, I appreciate what you do because it really does relieve so much stress and just trying to plan a trip like that. There's so many little details, and then you have to worry about currency, and then, God, there's so many things. And you just take so much of that pressure off. And I think that is just amazing.
It's definitely like, I mean, we drive on boutique, but like we will often get on calls like this beforehand, especially like on Tokyo, and just have a conversation. Like, what are you
Mm,
worried about? What are your
so
questions?
useful.
How can we break this down for you? We've been there. We're going to be on the ground with you. And I think when you're running a marathon, you have these big goals, you're trying to figure out logistics or where am I going to be? It's just great to have a foundation for 4 days. I still want people to explore, and this is their hard earned time off, their vacation, their investment. It's, our packages are pricey, but I think that once someone's on the trip with us, they see the value. Basically, it's a 4-day foundation, and then you can still, there's enough planned for you to be supported for the race and enough free time for you to still explore on your own.
All right, so we'll stick with London here. If I'm running London and I signed up today,
Yeah.
what are the next couple things I'm going to expect? What is down the line for me? I have to get my own flight correct. What else is going to happen? Are you going to be sending me monthly emails or just like one email confirmation, meet us here at this time? What goes on between you and me between now when I sign up to when I arrive in London?
When you sign up, I mean, you can use our website and guarantee your spot today. So that should be a smooth process. Our packages are set up for people to either travel on their own in a single. So that's one person in the room with one, like themselves. And all of our rooms are private. Like, we don't pair runners. If you have a friend or you have someone that you want to recruit, we can adjust the room and have them come in the future. And then basically, once you proceed through and make your deposit, your spot's guaranteed. And you can select the hotel that works for you, the package that works for you. So the essential package in London is basically the essentials of what you need. Some people have been to London, and so they don't really want all the bells and whistles, although we think it's super fun. But it's basically the essentials: expo, bib, hotel. And the hotels are always within, we try to stay within 1 mile radius of the finish line. Because
Mm,
after you run the race, you just want to be home. So what you would expect, as soon as you book, we send a kick out email just talking about the importance of travel insurance and welcoming you to London. Usually about the 20-week mark, we just talk about like time to dust off the wheels and start running. Like, this is a good time. We know not everybody will start doing it then. And some people have just continuously been running. And we'll usually have our coach potentially talk about the course, the dynamics of the course. Then we'll, maybe like a month later, it's usually about monthly emails or engagement. We try not to do too much. Everybody's really busy, but enough so that you're confident that things are in motion and, the program is planned. You can see our itinerary. So you already have an idea of what you're doing, where we're going to be, and the hotel that you're at. And then we will send out like make sure you book your flights. Here's any visa requirements. And here's what to do in your destination and some fun facts. Our social media does amplify and support, like, here's what we love about London. Here's what we love about this place. We'll give some of our like off the beaten path recommendations that we think are good. And anytime our team is on the ground, we always try one new thing so we can report on it.
mm,
Then as we get closer to departure, we'll send out like RSVPs. In London, at one of our properties, we do a 3-course dinner at a local restaurant. I always try to buy local. I always try to support local. So we've partnered with a restaurant, 2 restaurants, and purchased them out full rate for before the marathon. So we'll get like their dinner order. What do they want? We try to appeal to vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free. It doesn't work all the time, but our goal is to provide a pre-race meal that works for you. As we get close to departure, you get your final itinerary. We're working now to build out some tech, maybe like an event hub, so that you have like an app
mm.
for when you're on the ground. So that's the next thing that's really important to us. And then when you get there, we're there. Our team is on the ground. We're welcoming you. We always have a fit amenity. The past 2 times for the anniversary events, we partner with Rabbit because they're female founded as well. And so we've had custom shirts for the group. And then we're there with you to be part of the journey, answer your questions, take you to the start, celebrate you to the finish, and have a little sing along at our post race celebration. Get your picture, get your photo. And I love my team. Like, I know you kind of asked about who's on the ground with me. In a typical venue, we'll have people that have run the marathon, usually myself and some other guides. We have a photographer. So you get a suite of photos afterwards. You have the race photos as well, but you have a suite of photos from the experience.
Mm.
And then we have our 2 videographers. And then usually when I'm there, we have we've contracted with this piano player that's fantastic. I mean, again, this is just London, but that's what you would expect. And that's what we should do. And anytime, call, phone, video, email, whatever you want to do. If you need additional support, you just reach out. We refer you to coaches who have run the course before. If you want training, we have specialized coaches for Tokyo who know that the cutoffs are not pace equal. So they train you to run that course to hit those cutoffs, especially if you're back of the packer. So we have partnerships with vendors, experience on the ground. And basically, we're just there to answer your questions and make sure it's stress-free, turnkey. Come run.
Amazing. I love it. Oh, I'm so appreciative of what you guys do because it really is so stressful, especially if you're going to a foreign country like Japan. Oh my gosh, language barriers, and there's just so many other things that can just get in the way, and you are there to make sure everybody is comfortable, has a great experience, and I applaud you.
Right? It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like the other thing we do is like in Tokyo, we take you in the metro. What does this
Oh my
mean? What does
gosh.
this sign mean? Where do you go? Where do you get off? What are these colors? We buy you a metro pass. So you don't have to worry about getting one. But then if you're traveling further, like some of my clients were like, Kelly, I can ride the trains all around Japan. And that to me, that education, that independence is so amazing because they're going to take that and come back and ski in Japan or
Mm,
do something else because they have the confidence. And we also like by default do attract like women travelers, females that are nervous to go abroad, that want a community, that want to feel safe wherever they're landing, that want to have a foundation. And so that to me is amazing too, that, they're traveling, they're moms, they're women, like, and that they feel like they can come and be in a safe spot and have this group and run this marathon.
You have a
wonderful.
great team. I'm looking at your website still, and I'm looking at your operations team, your fit marathon team of all the fit guides, the coaches, the photographers, the videographers, the guest speaker is a pretty cool
Mm.
guy. We had him
I
on the
know. I
pod
was just gonna
before.
say, Dave has been on our trip to London before, and
But
like I have cried so many times hearing his like motivational speech the night before everybody's running London.
but I have to say my favorite here is your CMOs, your chief motivation officers. Tell us about those 3
That's a
people.
job. Oh my
Oh my God, you're making me cry. I mean,
gosh.
yeah, my CMO team is the best. I probably should have my husband in that photo too.
Well, he's the official juggler. You had him
He's
as
the
the
official
juggler,
juggler.
operations juggler.
But my CMOs, look, it gets back to why this passion project started. They are my chief motivation officers. They are the drive behind how this all started. Like that first marathon finish line, I was devastated that I would never be able to have kids. And um, tried and true, like it's been a journey through IVF and donor egg and quite a journey on that end to have them and quite some losses during that. And that little trio, they're so cute. And I mean, I'm biased, but they are my motivation. They're my motivation for doing anything, for leading, for having the company, for running that next mile, for continuing to like, you know, any obstacle I hit, get back up again and run and find that finish. And they're so kind, and their excitement when I see them on the course or when I see them or they talk about what I'm doing. I mean, of course they miss me and that's hard, but yeah, my CMO team is strong.
That is the cutest thing I've ever heard.
I
I
love
don't
it.
know if any other company has CMOs like that. And so I hope that we are like,
Monday Night Media is gonna create that position for my 3 kids. That's what I'm gonna do.
See,
Adeline, Tommy, and Tyler.
at first, I can't see. I don't know who he was talking about. He just mentioned it. I was like, "That's such a cool thing," and then I was like, "Oh my god, that's her kids!" So yes, I think that's amazing, and that kind of does answer a question. Like, do they get to travel with you? So not always, but do they get to come sometimes?
I think it's a goal to have them on the trip. And definitely my oldest is now at a point where I would love to have her at the helm. because when we're on the ground, and I think, any marathon weekend, like if you're in town for Boston, there's like a pop-up, an expo, like people running, questions. There's so much on the ground operation. So
Mhm.
my CMOs, they do stay at home for now with the juggler. And yeah, but it was funny. Like I FaceTimed them and I was just in Paris and I was on like trying out the cruise, and in the back of me, I was like, buddy, what's behind me? And he's like, I could see him looking and looking and looking and being like, Dad, it's the keychain. She's in front of the keychain. So it was the Eiffel Tower. I had brought them all home Eiffel Towers, and just that connection. It was so incredible. But yeah, look, we just had an awesome group of over like 300 people in London. And
Wow.
I have friends that ask, I flew back from Australia in January with my 3 kids alone. They were like, never, I would never do that. I'm like, it's me and my 3 kids. I'm like, I don't have like 300 people that I'm worried about. So it's all in perspective. Like, so they're really good travelers. They've gone to a few continents. The first trip out of the hospital has always been to get their passport. They all have global entry, which is ridiculous. Like they have to go in for the interview. And yeah, they're really the reason why I do all this.
I'm looking at this stuff and you're talking passports, global entry. I know what it all is. I even have my UK ETA already. So if you need me to go with you to
Yeah.
London next year to be part of your team, call it the official podcast team. I'm good to go. Erica will have to apply for that, but I saw that.
I
I
don't
know what
even
that
know
is.
what that is.
Right. I'll tell you off air. It's not. It's
Okay.
just another thing. It's another thing for
But I
another
got my
country to make money.
passport and I have global entry, and so I guess I'm almost ready to go.
I want to talk about Erica here for a second. I don't know if you know much about Erica here, but I gave her the nickname 6-star Erica a while ago when she got her 6-star, and she now has a 7th that she has to do. It is for Sydney. You mentioned you had 300 people in London. So one, like, what's the max on these? Now, Sydney, I asked because Sydney is sold out for this year.
Mm.
But next year, if she wanted to go with you and get her 7th star part of this whole plan, how early does she have to realistically like book this?
Yeah, so Sydney sold out for us really. I mean, look, it was a hot ticket item. And
Mhm.
I studied abroad at the University of Sydney, so Sydney has my heart. Yeah, usually about a year in advance. So when we launch, we try to make it as fair as possible. So any past travelers have priority with us, but we always leave like a portion of our programs for new people. We want to give opportunity, we want to be inclusive. And we've tried to devise ways where it is as fair as possible for people. And we always keep a wait list too. So like even if cities sold out, like I had a wait list and we approved like 3 people yesterday from it. So we try as best we can to really help people get into these, that because it's harder and harder. But yes, typically if you go on when we open and you decide to book, and we try to give you like, hey, here's what the package is going to be, here's what the dates are, all of those things. Well, I would say like typically a year in advance. Like London is going a little bit slower this year. It usually takes like, because the lottery hasn't been announced as well. So typically right after the lottery
Ah.
will be sold out, like, because look, 1.1 million people.
Right.
And
It's
There's a
unreal.
chance. But it's a guaranteed entry. All these except Tokyo and Boston are guaranteed bibs. So like if you're struggling to get that bib for London or for Berlin or something, hey, this is a guaranteed bib to get your next star. And you
and
get to go with some amazing people. There's some great events. Your whole entire trip is scheduled out. You just got to decide between Delta One or economy. That's what you got to do.
I'll see you in economy.
I'll be back there too. I might splurge for economy plus.
Economy's not that bad. Unless
I
you're
just
very,
need
very
the
tall
aisle.
and then you just have very little leg room.
I need the aisle. That's just what I want. I
Mm.
want the aisle.
Although
I
this
flew to London a couple months ago, and we load our plane, and then they say the plane is loaded, doors are closed, and I'm like, there's no one on here. We all had our own row.
That's
And then they
brilliant.
delayed us a little bit, and they say, hey, we had another plane that didn't take off. We're going to take some people in that plane and put them in this one. They filled the entire plane. I was so disappointed. I was going to lay
Bummer,
down
dude.
and sleep in my seat because it was a night flight. It was a red eye. I was bummed.
Mm.
But Kelly, This is so cool. I really dread fundraising, and it's just I don't like to do it, and I'm doing it for the first time now for a marathon. I'm running in New York, so I'll see you in New York this November.
With
And
Jared.
with Jared. I hope I get to meet you in person, if not before, but it's my first star. And when I go for more, because I always said Boston's going to be my last, that means I got to go to London, Berlin, and Sydney, and all these other marathons. And I know I could fundraise, but I also know I could just go with you and with your crew, and it would be amazing. So I think I found my ticket when I have the time to do it, and the kids are a little older, and when we do a little more. Right now, we're going to focus on Erica. She's going to get her 7-star, and then one day she'll be 9-star Erica. But this
I don't
is
want to
so
change my
cool.
handle, but I love the other stars. And I don't know, Kelly, we were talking, I can't remember if this was even on the pod yet, but you have 43 stars between all of the majors.
It's a little
And
obnoxious.
that's incredible. But I think
Not
I
a
have
big
10.
deal.
I have 10. I'm
Yeah.
going for 11 this year. I'm doing Chicago again for my 4th time. And yeah, just keep racking up those stars.
And if you wait, you only have one left, so you've got your 6-star.
I have 6-star, so I'm gonna have the new ones whenever those. I know we have Sydney already, but then Cape Town, and then is it Shanghai or is it Chengdu that they're looking at?
Shanghai. Chengdu is
Shanghai.
in the bid
hot.
early on, but
Yeah,
it's
too hot for
Shanghai
that one, I
now
think.
is in the bid. But I will be in Cape Town, so I've also had the opportunity to be in Cape Town a few times, and to run on the promenade there, which is very hot. As part
Did
of
you
the
do that during your the World Challenge?
as part of the World Marathon Challenge, you run in Cape Town, and I love Cape Town. Had one of my best massages there. So we'll be there in October, but then we're following it up in May because it is moving to May. The age group world championships are going to be there in May. We hope that they'll be announced as the 8th star this fall. And so we will have a program and entry. I mean, we have it this October as well, and Fit will be on the ground there, but then we will follow it up in May to be there for 2026, the age group world championships, and hopefully the 8th major.
So awesome. So if you have run, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but if you have run Cape Town already, does that count as a star like proactively, or you have to run it once it's announced?
It's a major. So I ran Sydney this past fall. And so I've finished the course, which is a fabulous course. It's so much fun. I mean, I'm probably biased too because I went to the University of Sydney there.
That's so cool.
But no, I need to run it again in September, so that because anybody who is in the age group world champs, but I have not been running fast enough times, and my age group is so competitive. So I have not been running fast times, and they're really competitive. So I can't compete, but I will be running again so that I can get my 7th star.
Excellent.
There you go.
Excellent.
7-star Kelly on the way. Not a big deal. 40-something world
44
majors.
star Kelly.
2-time world marathon runner. Well, Kelly, let me tell you this podcast for you, not a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You can come back whenever you want. You're always welcome.
Come back.
If you want to come back and talk about like a new addition to the FIT profile here, if you want to come on and do a giveaway, choose between me or Erica. Who's your favorite? One of you can come for free. Not gonna lie, but I edit the podcast, so if you say Erica, I'm just gonna edit that out.
I won't make you choose.
You're local. We're in New Hampshire. We're just up the road. I work in Billerica. Like, I would love to go on a run with you one day. I'm sure Erica would come down.
I'm just in Nashua, so yeah, I'm not far.
So
we'll be in New York. It will be amazing. It will be a lot of fun. Erica will be in Chicago. I don't know if you'll be in Chicago, but
I'm running Chicago because I need it for my 4th star.
There you go for the 4th. Yeah. Oh my God.
4th round.
Is there an end goal here? Are you going for like 10? Are you going for double digits? Like, what's the end goal?
No.
What's
the
hard. Record for that? Like, who has the most 6-star medals?
Now, look, like I do have an advantage because of the industry that I'm in, but I will have to tell you that because I am just like you. So I'm fundraising. I'm running for the Tourette's Foundation for New York.
Oh, wow.
I did not get in the lottery, and I don't just get a bid in. So I try hard to get in. I don't have entries for Tokyo, so I'm navigating the virtual runs and the lottery and the charity process and making bids. So I am doing all of these things, which is how I call it market research. But yeah, so I have to run Chicago for my fourth, and then New York will be my fourth star. I think there are a couple women. There's 9 women who have 3 or 4 stars, 3 or 4
Yep.
in the world. And I don't know how many. I'm not big on stats. It's so funny. I should be. I don't run with a watch. I often think, how many miles have I run? Those maps would be cool. But like some people follow me on Strava. I'm like, they're going to be really disappointed. So
That's kind of refreshing though, that you just do it for the love of it. You don't do it for the stats. Like, you know what you've run, and it doesn't really matter like what your splits were. Like, you just run.
My friends want me to time the 100 to come to be at home or around here. So they're like,
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well,
so
Kelly,
it might be Chicago. If I don't run Kenya, it will be Chicago.
Gotcha. Well, I hope to meet up with you at some point in Chicago, because I will be there for, I think, 4 days, and we've been there a bunch of times. So we kind of have the whole weekend to just do whatever we want. So I would love to meet up with you and say hello and wish you a good race at least.
Same. No, seriously. Please stay in touch. I'd love to meet up local. Yeah. I would love. It's been an honor to be on here and have these conversations. Like,
oh, thank you.
Well, thank you for your time. What?
You're not off the hook yet.
Oh no.
We have two final big questions. These are some of the hardest questions you will ever have in your life. And I am going to go first. On the Runs is having this epic imaginary pasta dinner at the end of the year with all our 2025 guests. So you are welcome. I can't wait to have you at our pasta dinner. You get to bring a +1. You can bring anyone in the world that your heart desires, alive or dead. Who are you going to bring? Just one person, by the way.
Not my CMO.
I'm gonna choose between them. I'm gonna invite your CMO, so I need another person. Your CMO is already coming.
Oh my God, this is really challenging. Just pick one person. I don't think that's a very fair question.
Yeah, Eric.
Oh, I wish I could like consolidate like this into runner or meaningful. But honestly, at the end of the day, the person that's going to be there by my side all the time through all this is my juggler. And so I would have John join this epic dinner.
All right. So
wonderful
John's
choice.
coming, and I'm sending a special invitation to all your CMOs so you can have the whole family there. Question though, we have some really cool people coming. Like, we have Michelle Obama, we have President Obama, we have Lewis Hamilton, Elvis is coming. Erica, name a few others. I want to know, who does Kelly want at her table? Who else is coming to this?
Fidipides. I think that's how you say it. He's like the founder of the marathon or something.
He died at the marathon. Do you know, we do this epic course tour in Boston. You should come on that. And it's so fun. Okay, now we're like overextending, but I could tell so many stories. But so we do this like epic thing, a course tour, and there's so much history. You're talking about Fidipides, and we go to the Hopkins Center for the Arts. We see the Bobby Gibbs statue. We bring everybody to the start line because nobody
you do the
really
Johnny Kelly statue too?
What? Yes.
That's where we post up every year to cheer at Boston. We are at,
oh my goodness,
right at the Johnny Kelly statue.
Yes. So we stop there. We get a photo. We bring individuals to like all of these. The spirit of the marathon is on the first mile of the course. Then we go to the Spencer statue. That we talk about the clock tower. I mean, it is just like Boston to me is like what really was the finish line that changed my life. And it's my hometown race. And it's the first marathon I did. And so we have this epic day on the Sunday before the marathon, just going, you should come. Do the pod.
I would love that. I would really love that.
We just bring to life the history of the course, the hills, some funny stories about where to get a hot dog on the course.
And we can bring microphones.
Sorry. I'm sorry I don't have my microphone.
No.
No,
I meant like
we'll bring it.
We'll bring microphones and a recorder, and we're here for the stories.
Yeah.
That would be a cool addition to Boston Weeks. How cool would that be? Eric, write that down.
Absolutely. I
I always
can't
have
wait.
like my kids too. I'm like schlepping them on course and like cheering
Oh,
from Wellesley and like trying to navigate what they're doing. And then this year, like Laura Green ran by and I was like, Laura, as if she was my best friend. I'm like, you don't know me, but I know you.
we love her too. She's been on the pod before. So you guys we're all pod fam now.
There you go. Look, I would love to say hi, I'm not running much lately, just the marathons, but kind of let's do it. Let's meet up.
We're there,
I
especially
love
because it's
that.
local. We're there. We got to
Oh,
wrap
who's
this
at my
up, but
table? I'll tell you who's at my table. Kara Goucher.
Yes, yes. We actually encountered
And
her
Des.
this past Boston.
Sorry.
I'm gonna put her down as your plus one.
I would have Kara, Des, Joni. Joni went to my alma mater. I went to Bowdoin.
Really? That's amazing.
So yep. And Shalane, I call my daughter Mini Shalane. So like
Oh.
if I could just have a table, I will charity support a table.
You just like named every single epic woman runner there was slash ever has been slash is. I'm on board with that. Let's just have that table, and I will worm my way in there. I want a seat there too.
Right? Oh,
right,
Paula
Kelly.
Radcliffe. I just saw her. I mean, like, let's just build.
Legends, absolute legends.
Yeah. Maybe we can add Serena Williams. How is this a 10 table, 10 top?
I mean, we can get those
Sorry.
big long tables like we.
I
that could fit, like,
overindulged. We have
50
Serena
people.
coming in. We have, yeah.
I'm on board with that. So yeah, I think we're gonna get those giant picnic table kind of things.
Sorry.
But there's got to be more than 10 per table. But we'll work on that for the future. But in the meantime, Kelly, my question. So we have an awesome Spotify playlist, and we like to invite our guests to add a song to it. So is there anything out there that gets you really pumped up, or does Fit International Travel have like a theme song that you would like to add to the list?
You're gonna die. I'm such an old lady. I'm one for 80s ballads. Which,
Okay.
like, because I just feel like fist
Uh-huh.
bumps and like, Brandy Carlisle, The Story. I know that it's not really. I've done Take It on the Run. Take it on the run, baby. Okay. And then Brandy Carlisle, The Story. All of these lines on my face tell the story. You know, that's just a ballad that you're crying out. But the theme for Fit has been, everybody always says, what's your time? What's your time? And when you're going to finish, or what do you expect to run? And I was like, you know what? Like, just have the time of your life. And so for the past races, like, I'm like, you can't put any of the effort in more. You've done all the training. We're here. We've traveled so far. Just today, go out there and have the time of your life. So we have done Green Day Dookie, like, Time of Your Life. We've done Dirty Bit by the Black Eyed Peas, Time of Your Life. And we've done traditional Dirty Dancing, Time of Your Life. So yeah, just time of your life is what it's all about, because it's too short.
Perfect. Which one do you like best out of those? Because Eric will get mad at me if I let you have like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, geez, I have 10 at a table, Eric, while you were gone. I put a table of 10 in.
That's news to him. So
I like the Black Eyed Peas Dirty Bit.
Dirty Bit. Wonderful.
good choice. I like that choice. I don't think we have
Dirty
any
bit.
Black Eyed Peas on there, and they're pretty cool. I like them. So that brings me back to my days in college.
Well,
That
of
song
course,
was so
Amy.
prevalent on my like early running playlist. Like I loved that song too. Like Black Eyed Peas just bring it all the time.
Well, this was amazing. This went beyond my expectations, and every guest we have on does. But you especially, I love learning about passion projects and your business and the things you do and how you grew it and all that. This is super cool. I know when I go international, unless someone else is paying me to go, I am paying you to take me there. This is a lot of, like, I've heard many stories from Jared about this already.
Stress off the shoulders.
Yeah, the no stress. I just got to decide between economy or Delta One. I got to make that choice. And yeah, when I see that $20,000 Delta One bill for Sydney, I'm going back in the back of the plane with economy. So, hey, this was amazing. Guys, check her out. Fitness I Travel on Instagram. It's fitness.i.travel. Oh, I messed that all up. But everything will be in the show notes. Put it that way. Kelly, you were amazing. Thank you so much for doing this, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. Kelly Mcley from Fitness International Travel on the On the Runs podcast. That was wicked awesome.